Oh yeah, oh yeah. Good morning. How are you? It's what 7:04 in the morning here in Nairobi, Sunday 15th. Oh yes, day after Valentine's. So belated wishes for Valentine's. For those who had Valentine's, for those who did not, poleni sana. Yeah. So yeah. For those who don't know me, I'm the dreadlock doctor or Dr. David Wasambla, and I'm a humanitarian. So there's this new thing I've started called Humanitarian Chronicles, and it's where occasionally I'll be telling you a quick story about myself, something brief. Then, of course, you can always catch it in other platforms. By other platforms, I mean this book. This book called Broken Souls Chronicles of a Humanitarian Health Worker. That's my new book, my second book published, and it speaks about the plight of humanitarian health workers, talks about the struggles we go through, the masks we have to wear when you're going to work, and of course, it's a call to action for proactive mental health support for all humanitarian responders, be they medical and medical, clinical and non-clinical, military, civilian, whichever the case may be, because we struggle with a lot. We struggle with a lot. For some reason, a friend of mine was telling me that this looks like chicken. I think he was very hungry, and I was hungry by the time he was telling me that. So I also thought, wait a minute, it looks like kienyeji chicken. You know, kienyeji chicken. Yeah, for those who know Kiswahili, kienyeji chicken. Yeah, that one. I can't translate it. Local fowl, local chicken, traditional chicken, village chicken, farm mshamba. That one. So yeah, so we are basically always on the brink. Most of the time, we're always on the brink of collapsing, on the brink of giving up, at the edge of the cliff, so to speak, because of the trauma we have to carry, including our own day-to-day life struggles. So that's what this book talks about. It also talks about my life coming up in lower school days and school years, primary school, high school, then university, where I had to do my medicine and yeah, stuff like that. And how I got into entertainment, how I came out of entertainment, or how I'm still part of entertainment, mixing that, combining that with my career as a medical doctor and a humanitarian. So, why? Yeah, don't worry about the fit. Yeah, you can worry if you want to. But this, I had this shirt yesterday on. I saw a meme about men who will wear the same t-shirt, the same shirt the next day, and like, yeah, it's a different place I'm going to, so what does it matter? So yeah, I'm wearing this from yesterday. I didn't wear it the whole night. I came home, took it off like 10 p.m. I just put it on now because I need to just put on something quick for this recording. However, that's beside the point. So I was at an event yesterday, an awesome event. Friends of mine were wedding yesterday, and they did it at Windsor. It was at Windsor, the Windsor that you know, the Windsor, and it was amazing. It was a wonderful, wonderful event. I mean, yeah, I was there from 9:30 in the morning up to like 9:30 in the night. So a good whole working day plus overtime was spent there. By the way, wewe unajijua mwenye ulinipata nini yako, your phone to take videos and photos for you. That's why I was there early. So yeah, that was a full day plus overtime. Fakulipo. Thinking like a businessman, a tired businessman. Maybe not. Yeah. So why am I talking about this? When I got an Uber to bring me back, I took a wonderful lady who was driving it. I took Uber chap chap. Sometimes I call them Uber imechapa because one time I took this Uber chap chap, and it was run down. Uber chap chap. Why do you do that? I think Uber chap chap is supposed to be the small vehicles. Chap chap, they're able to be there quickly, able to maneuver in the jam. I think it's probably the size of a border or a matchbox. You just put it in your pocket when the jam is too much and walk around the truck, walk around the matatu, get it out and drive. I don't know, but why are they so run down? Why are some not all of them? Some of them are so run down. This one, we would hit a bump and we would be the bump. Those basically nothing. Those no suspension. Like the guy took them off and left them at home. I don't know, but it's many of them that are like that. It's msikwange hivyo bana, msikwange hivyo. Some of us can't afford comfort all the time, or the other one excel. Anyway, so I was in this Uber, and this lady was like, "Hey, you mean in this economy, I'm struggling to make 1,000 bob per day, and you people are wedding in Windsor." I was like, "Wait, go there first. First of all, I'm not the weather. Wedn't wedi that one. I'm not. I wasn't. I'm a guest. That's why. Yeah, you saw. Big cars left me. Chap chap. You home. No, anyway. So I told her, no, no, no. Well, yeah. I mean, everybody's in their own lane. So we had this whole discussion about how everybody's in their own lane, everybody's in their own level. Then I told her, you know what? Don't worry. Why are you struggling? It's just now that you can't afford to come to Windsor. You might afford it in a few years' time, might afford it in a few days' time, might afford it in a few weeks' time. Everybody has their own lane in life. So we had this whole discussion about lanes in life and people's lot in life and people's ability at a particular time. Maybe it's not in the cards, whatever it is that you want to say for her or for some people to be to visit Windsor, but be in other places. So had the discussion. Then suddenly I remembered that one time I used to be a hawker. Yo, hey, okay. So I used to be a hawker. I used to be a hawker in the Nairobi Central Business District. District. Yeah, I'm still tired. In the Central Business District, the CBD in Nairobi, I used to be a hawker. So, for those who know Nairobi community, as you just taking off that up the hill at community, way like about 200 meters before you get to the library, there's on the left, if you're coming from town going up towards that community road towards Kenyatta, there's Afia House, which we fondly, fondly, fondly call Mafia House because yeah, we saw dust in that building sometime. For those who have ever had to be there, there was a time when you would go ask for your internship pay. You haven't been paid for 4 or 5 months, and someone decides, you know what, by the way, before I pay you your dues, before I give you the money I'm supposed to give you, because you've been working for 6 months and you've not been paid, and it's not your mistake that I didn't activate something in the system, you have to pay me some percentage of your salary. So someone expects you to give them 10-15%. And if you promise that when they release your money, they'll give you that, within a day, you get that money. I did not promise that. So I spent 2 weeks. I spent 2 weeks going to Afia House every single morning, running around with files, and with you had to get a messenger so and so to take you from this room to that room. And if you don't find that messenger, or they decide to delay, or they've been told to delay until you cough up a promise of some percentage of your salary, then you will have to wait a whole day and do nothing. And if you go, they say, but you left. We were ready and you left. Where were you? Where were you? You have to start afresh. And if the file goes back to the original room, you have to start the process again. They have to go find it. They have to look for it. And then take you to the next room, get a signature. Even if you had a signature, pass through there, so the person who signed confirms they signed. And if they're not there, then you have to wait for them to come back, or they somebody else has to confirm, and then you wait for another messenger from that room to go to the from the next office to come and get your file and go with it, and da 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 da. So anyway, eventually I got my money after 2 weeks, and they're like, Doctor, you're a very bad person. This person is a very bad person. This no, you're a very bad person. These people do pray. I was quite a prayerful person there. These people do pray. These prayerful people. No. We don't like these prayerful people. They're very bad. They're very bad. So it's not that I'm very bad because I was a bad person. Nah, I don't know if I'm good. But it's because I refused to cough money. That's why I was very bad. And they didn't like that. So anyway, this was where I met a guy called Kijana Mbaya. I remember being told, Kijana Mbaya. I'm like, what? Why would I go to a bad boy? Kijana Mbaya in Kiswahili means bad boy. I mean, why would I go to a bad boy? Why don't you go to a bad boy? So Kijana Mbaya apparently is actually somebody's name. The first name is Kijana, surname is Mbaya. So go to Kijana Mbaya. And when they took me there, I saw on the door, Mr. Kijana Mbaya, one of the people in account. I don't know if he's still there now, but he was there then. And I was like, yo, Kijana Mbaya. So I have to go to the bad boy. He wasn't the guy who called me bad. He was okay. He signed my document. I was so worried because of his name. I thought he was going to refuse to sign my document. He signed it. Amazingly, he signed it. Yeah, so that was cool. And after meeting Kijana Mbaya, eventually 2 weeks later, I got my money, and I was very scared because I had to put in a backpack and go find a bank, open an account, put the money in the bank, and then go back to Meru, where eventually I was discovered. Not I had been discovered by this time as the ever-ready watchman by Patience. Sorry for another day. Yeah, so watch out for part 2 when I talk about being a hawker from Afya House.